Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening for those of you who are joining us around the world and live today. It has been a while. We apologize for missing out last week. There's been a lot of crazy things happening, but we are here today and we are super excited because we are going to be talking to you about sessions and how you can use sessions with collaborative PLCs. But before we get started on that, today, joining me as always are my partners in crime here. Got Rachel, Oksana, and Vince. So, hey, how's everybody been doing since we've last met?
Uh, it's been a roller coaster of emotion over here, Kelvin. I have to say, my dog decided to uproot a number of my new herbs from my garden, and I am just dejected over it because I just can't grow anything, and he's just making it worse. Other than that, I'm great. How are you all?
That is, oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I mean, I guess kind of like mother, like child offspring there. He wants to become a chef, following in your
Yeah,
footsteps there,
yeah,
I guess.
that's what he's doing. Yeah, it has nothing to do with his anxiety.
No, not at all, right? What about you,
Yeah,
Oksana Vince?
I'm fine. And today the weather is really sunny, and I could also say that this the first time in my life when I have started my own garden. Fortunately,
Nice.
I have a dog here, so hopefully, it will be green, and I will be able to grow some kind of plants.
You do have a cat, right? You have
Here, no,
no.
currently no.
Okay,
Our
good.
cat is with her grandparents, and I'm sure that I miss my cat much more than she misses me.
Yeah.
I have some strong views on cats, but we
We
won't
don't
get into
want
Me
to
that.
hear
too.
your
You
strong
don't want to
views
say
on
that
chat.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might
People
have to
will
turn off
leave.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing pretty good too. It's actually I've been getting really hot over here. It's almost like 100 degrees, almost 40 something Celsius. So yeah,
Oh,
it's not been good this week.
it's
So,
hot.
but
But
we're doing
Vince, it's
okay.
a dry heat, right?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
not that
yeah.
bad.
Everybody always says that, but
I don't know
yeah,
why that is somehow better. I mean, I've lived in
it's not.
Florida and I've now lived in Texas. Well, it's pretty humid where we are, but like I've lived in California. I've experienced all the different types of heat there is, and it
Yeah,
all sucks.
yeah, it
None of
sucks.
it is
Yeah.
good or worse or better than others. It all sucks. It all comes with its own set of challenges. So
It's
I
different
don't know.
levels of miserable, basically.
Thank
So
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway,
Awesome. Well, that's. It seems like we all are doing well in
yeah.
our various ways. So let's go ahead and move on here and talking about collaborative PLCs. And I'm sure those of you out there have had many different experiences of what that looks like and how you go about doing those PLCs within your various communities and everything. I know for me, when we would do those collaborative PLCs, it was always interesting just to get the various amounts of input from each other, and just to see who was going to, I guess, lead, which I always end up usually being the person who likes to talk most, but
Yeah.
love them though, and who just was like, you know what, I'm just going to do whatever. I don't really care. So we have to do so. You get all those different ranges, but I did enjoy it for me personally, because you did get those different mindsets. And I was always one of the first to admit that I don't know everything. And I love learning from people who have, or that I view have more experience than me, or that I've seen them teach a particular lesson. It's like, you know what? I can take away something from that, and put it into my repertoire. So it was always nice to have those there. And I think for the most part, my experiences were pretty positive. I
Hmm.
don't know. So
Yeah.
what's, yeah, go ahead.
I would say I completely, in all seriousness, I agree with you. Like I always learn something from someone else and saw something in a new light for sure. But I'm also just going to bring up that old adage that misery loves company. And that is to me what a collaborative PLC can sometimes turn into. So it's easy to fall into that rut.
Sure.
But we're going to share some ways about how to avoid that potentially like misery party experience, which I've also had in a collaborative PLC environment.
Yes.
Yeah, it only takes one person to just kind of like bring it all down to like everybody starts kind of in a complaint party basically. But
it's kind of like, I don't know if anyone has seen it or knows the premise of it, but if anyone out there has seen Six, the musical yet, on either on Broadway or listened to the album, it's about the 6 ex-wives of Henry VIII, and they come together for a concert where they all, are singing their ballads about which one of them had it the worst as his wives.
I could imagine that would be a very interesting conversation put to music.
Yeah, it's a very wonderful show. I highly recommend it. At least listen to the music.
I'm about to say there was definitely each of them could give the other a run for their money because
one of them definitely had it like pretty good, I would say, but let's not get into it.
Yes. What about you, Oksana? What about your experiences?
I should say that collaborative PLCs, it doesn't always mean that you just feel, I don't know, very positive and happy. Of course, you could have your ups and downs, absolutely. But maybe there's some kind of awareness that there is an environment where you could go to in case you feel happy, in case you feel frustrated, and it isn't only about work. Just please help me with my tomorrow's lesson. It's about your life experience, about some emotional things when people have, I know, burnout, emotional burnout, and you just need help. You don't want to go to a psychologist because you have this like environment that could feel you better, that could understand what you're feeling right now. So maybe all of these things, like a combination of them, is a collaborative PLC for me.
Excellent. Yes. And so again, if you have some experience you would like to share, please feel free. You can drop that into the chat. We'll post those questions here in the stream and definitely bring them up as well. And if you are watching this after the fact, you're still more than welcome to drop those comments in the chat. We do check that on a regular basis, and we'll definitely respond back to you. So with that being said, something that I know was, I guess, somewhat of an issue for me, but it wasn't one that we just kind of like, accepted and really didn't have a solution for, unfortunately, was the idea that we would come up with these things together that we wanted to do, but it often involved us being able to visit and know what's going on within that other person's classroom that we're working with as well, just to kind of help foster the overall goal that we're trying to reach. And that wasn't necessarily always feasible because, as we know, life just happens. Any educator out there can tell you, it's like Murphy's Law, right? What can go wrong will go wrong. And that's kind of the normalness of education. I would always tell people like, the unexpected is normal. That's what happened. When things aren't going well for an extended period of time, that's when I start to panic and freak out because I'm like, okay, something's about to happen because we've been too calm for a while now. But with that being said, it would, we would love to have had the opportunity to use video as part of this, to record those lessons, to be able to look back, because oftentimes we would be getting secondhand accounts. So those shares of what was going on and trying to visualize that within our heads if we weren't actually able to be in the classroom to see it. So this is, again, what we're going to kind of pivot and shift when we talk about those collaborative PLCs, what that will look like within the classroom as far as using sessions as well. So as we always do, we are going to talk about the how first, and then we'll get into more of the why with our second question. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick here and just kind of walk you through what that will, of course, look like. All right, so this is our Teams by Swivl platform. This is going to be where you come into your account. And this is after you've already done your video, right? So you did the lesson, it's recorded, you're in the platform now, and you're working on your video. First thing you're going to do is come up here to a little caret if you haven't done so within the app before you shared your video or selected the mode. You can select sessions. So right now I'm going to select sessions. This is the mode that I'm in. And the first thing you're going to do is set that intention. So what was that purpose for the video? And it could be on anything. For me, as you can see right here, I have one where I'm working on not saying or like so much during the course of that video. But for you, if it was when you're working with the peer collaborative group, maybe you all are working more on student engagement. So you are implementing those Kagan strategies, for example, within your various classrooms, and you're using this as a tool to see, well, okay, I know how I'm doing it, but I want to make sure that we're all on the same page and this being implemented properly, and we're learning this process together. Okay, so you're gonna then, of course, go into the actual feedback. You're gonna click on that and watch that video. We like to recommend a minimum of at least 2 times through with your video. That first time is going to, of course, not be with that critical lens. It's going to be for all those superficial things. All right, you maybe not used to seeing yourself on video, so you don't know that your voice sounds different from your head when you hear it out loud, like, oh my gosh. Or maybe you're like, wow, I'm a hand talker. That's weird. Why am I doing all this weirdness with my hands? Or it's like, okay, I need to bring a brush because I got to brush my hair because where's my hair's doing this weird thing. It's very poofy for some odd reason. Get all of the superficial things out of the way. Breathe, relax. Then you're going to watch the video that second time through that critical lens after you got all that superficial stuff out of the way. And then you're going to be looking for those glows and grows. So those positive takeaways and those things that I'm still working on. So if your attention was the student engagement piece, that's what you're going to focus on here and looking for those positive takeaways and things that you want to continue working on throughout the video. After you've done that, put those timestamp comments in, just minimize and go to the final step, which is going to be, of course, your summary. So the summary is going to be, again, where you're going to add those things that you notice from your video, those key takeaways. So those, hey, glow takeaways, those I'm still need to work on takeaways. You can even add notes here for your prospective group mates that you are going to be sharing this video with. And you put all that information here, as well as set up those next steps. So when are you going to record again? What does that look like? Is that schedule going to be every month? Is that going to be every week? But just know that you want to include that here as well. So that's another visual for you, so you'll know exactly what we're doing. And then after you have put that nice summary in there as well, I'm just going to go ahead and put my next steps. Go ahead and hit save. Once you save it now, then you would come here and then share it to your group. So you'll find your group here, whatever your collaborative PLC group is. Once you find it, go ahead, click, you hit share, and then the video will be shared to that group. They will have access to it. They'll be able to watch it and again, add comments as well. And so if your entire PLC is working on student engagement, they will be able to see that the videos there, and you all will be able to comment and again, on those videos and provide your feedback as well. So that's the how behind it. All right. Anything that I might have missed on that, ladies and gentlemen, Rachel, Oksana, Vince? Okay. So,
You covered it. You nailed it.
perfect.
I mean, it's about time, Kelvin, that you get this.
Hey, I've been known to get this right from time to time.
Yeah, from time to time.
Very
Like
few
one out of every 5 times. Yeah.
It happens. So this takes us into our second question for today, which will get to the why behind this. And that is, of course, going to be how can sessions enhance your collaborative PLC process? Okay. So I'd like to start us off with that.
I normally start, so I'm going to be slightly reticent. I'm going to let someone else go, then I'll follow up with what I like to add.
All right.
Go ahead.
Do you want to go, Oksana, or you want to? Yeah. Okay, so I mean, sessions and teams in general can really help with it, especially for being able to have a conversation with someone without having to actually be in the PLC. So if you wanted to, like Kelvin was showing you, have those comments, you can set that goal with no distractions. It's all right there for you. And I think that's probably the most powerful piece, is that you can do it on your own time when you're free and not restricted just to that PLC session. So it's not technically together, in person. I mean, you probably could do it in person too if you wanted to, but that's the good thing about it, is that you can do it, when you have time and you're not rushed in a specific period of time at school or something. So.
Excellent. Thanks for that, Vince. Oksana, what do you think?
Besides what Vince has mentioned, it seems to me that sessions help to improve and to work on specific skills. So they help us to focus on something specific, not just something broad, right? Just to make or get the general impression of the lesson, of a teacher, of students, but as we said, the intention. And it could be very specific, and the teacher is starting working and improving this very thing, let's say during some period of time, and then has the opportunity to share it to the colleagues, and they work together on improving that very specific thing during the class or during the lesson. So it could really help to become a teacher more professional, and to share this very experience with the colleagues. Besides that, it saves a lot of time.
Yes, I would definitely agree with that as well. And that was kind of what I was thinking about your last point. The time of it as well is just going to be tremendous for you. You'll be able to save that time. Like I had mentioned before, just finding the opportunities to actually go into that classroom physically to observe was, far and few in between for us. That's been my experience. Even when we had the best of intentions, life gets in the way within education. So that, again, will definitely help out to have that video so you can go back and look at it at your leisure. Rachel, go ahead. Bring us home.
I would say there's maybe one more thing that it brings to a collaborative PLC process, which is it helps build some more trust with this group of people in a way. And the reason I say that is because when one person is asked of the group to present themselves in a video and take these 3 steps out, identify your intention, aka your goal, analyze yourself very publicly in front of these other people first, and provide a summary for your own next steps. You're putting yourself out there. You are taking a leap of faith that you're not going to be judged by these people who are going to be working with you. And that in and of itself is a trust building kind of exercise. And so when people participate together in that experience, it shows that you're open to feedback, you're open to collaboration. It's a very foundational first step to really building a positive experience in the future.
Excellent. I love that as well. That's, again, something that we talk about a lot too when we just do our trainings in general, because there's so many teachers, unfortunately, that have just a negative view of video, seeing themselves on video and sharing them, just putting them out there. And it's goes back to your point, Rachel, of trust, because they have that feeling that, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm just going to be judged harshly. And that's because they, again, don't have that foundational relationship of trust with the people that will be watching this video. And so just being able to do that, everyone's doing the same thing. You're all putting yourself out there, and it is a vulnerability, putting yourself on video and seeing yourself on video. So that, again, speaks volumes to, what it is that we're trying to achieve here. So excellent. Thank you all. That was good. Talk for our second question. And again, those out there in cyberspace, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to post those. We'll be more than happy to discuss and talk about them. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to our final thoughts here, where we're going to just see if we can think about or share one concrete example of how you can use sessions for next PLC. And I want to share just a customer user feedback on this, something that someone that shared with us. And I thought this was really, really interesting, mainly because it's actually harkens back to something that we would do at the end of the school year when I was still in the classroom teaching, where we would have a school-wide, collaborative PLC lesson that we would do. So we would all get together, just brainstorm across the grade levels and across curriculum. So everyone was involved, even the special teachers in this, and coming up with a lesson and how it can connect and touch on those different avenues within education as well. But this school in particular, they're doing that. But again, time is usually of the essence, even though it's like, I might have a little bit more after testing's done, we're a little bit freer and can relax a bit, but everyone still has their own schedule. So being able to have those PLC conversations and sharing those out so they can still be a part of that and comment and brainstorm collaboratively and coming up with ideas of what they want to do as a school, and then breaking that down into their smaller components. So I thought that was really nice, because it was a way of them using video to help save that time, but it was also very meaningful and purposeful with what they were looking to achieve. And then they also are planning on using this to record those presentations for the parents as well, who wouldn't be able to be there. So it's kind of also extending and taking it to that next level within those collaborative PLCs to the actual performances that the students are doing. I kind of skipped step. They're doing plays. So they were going to do different fairy tale plays, which is what they were working on. So that was the part I was like, what are you talking about? But anyway, so again, I think that would be a nice example, something that I was very proud of that they were sharing. It's like, wow, that's really cool. Another good way of being able to use this. So any other thoughts on that? Does anyone have something else they'd like to share?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a kind of meta example here. So I know that a PLC is typically composed of your peers. Maybe your coach is facilitating it, but it's not usually a place where you'd expect to have your admin playing a significant role in that process in your learning. However, I'm going to turn this thing on its head a little bit. I think a concrete way that you could use sessions for your next PLC is to invite an admin into the fold for maybe an early session, because what you'll ask them to do is something that you all should be doing in your group eventually, but it's very hard to take that step on your own without a little bit of push. So again, going back to that concept of how do you build trust? How do you get comfortable with your vulnerability? If you're an admin out there listening to this, do yourselves a favor. Put yourself in the shoes of your teachers. Record yourself maybe at a faculty meeting, maybe at a pep rally, like literally anything, and have the people in those PLCs analyze you. And that could be their practice run with how to get through sessions through, this analytical perspective. But, the admin really has to go all in, identify their intention, even if it's something as fun and silly as a pep rally, what they wanted to achieve during that pep rally, analyze themselves with a few comments or bookmarks, and a summary of what they hope to be the takeaway or what they would like to do different next time, and share that into a PLC group and see what comes out of it.
I love that because again, it's not putting the onus on just your, the faculty and staff. It's, hey, the administrators getting involved in this as well. And they're like, okay, they're putting themselves out there. It might make your, the teachers a little bit more resonance to do it as well. And everyone's kind of in the same boat. So that's nice. And plus, hey, pep rally. Who doesn't like to see a good pep rally?
Yeah, I think that would be a really fun, like pressure-free way to get just thrown into the mix. So why not?
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you for that one, Rachel. Vince, Oksana, did either one of you have one you'd like to share?
Kelvin, while I was listening to your example, I had an idea that such PLCs could be recorded not only at the end of the year when there are some kind of conclusions are made, but they could be recorded at the beginning of the year when everybody, I know, wishes somebody something good during the academic year, when they have some kind of plans, inspirations, expectations to each other, how they're going to support each other, some kind of promises. Okay, whenever you call me, I will answer. And then in the end of the year, to have to watch this recording and see how the year went. Was everything as you had expected or no? Just laugh together, have fun together, and just to reflect on the year that you have had together as one community.
That's so precious and so important, and a step that is often missed. So I love that.
Yes, I've always been a huge fan of those little, just kind of impromptu notes and everything. Oftentimes, it's like, oh, geez, does anyone even notice the hard work that we're doing day in and day out? And it doesn't even have to be big. It's just like, hey, that's good job, keep it up. That means volumes, and I've heard that from teachers constantly. It's and that could be that difference of feeling appreciated, where like, I'm coming back, I can do this another year, versus and show no appreciation, no love or nothing at all this year. I don't know if I want to do this. So night and day. Love that. All right, anything, Vince, before we go ahead out here?
Just real quick, so I was thinking that you could even do, for example, like 2 PLC sessions and have them linked up with sessions. For example, the first one, you could have the group maybe have someone to volunteer, maybe, or maybe you be the volunteer to create a lesson on sessions. And then the next session, the next PLC, that you have, perhaps everybody could watch it, you could share it with them, and then maybe find one thing that they could take away from that and comment on that video. So to make it more positive, not just like criticizing, or try to find something that's positive in your lesson that you did, just so they can see how the commenting works. Maybe a summary at the end, perhaps maybe a group summary if you want to do it all together to save time. So you could do that, and do it in person right there with everybody, so everybody can see the flow and how it works. So that could be something to do too. If you're wondering about how you can get started using it, maybe have a PLC on actually just using it, right? Just practicing using it.
Yeah.
So
sounds simple, but no, that's perfect.
Excellent. Yeah. All great ideas. Thank you for sharing, everyone. Definitely appreciate it. I know our audience will appreciate it as well. And so, with that being said, housekeeping bit of information here at the end, like we always do. So, if you would like more help on our Swivl products, please visit swivl.com/setup. You can also join us for our weekly Q&A sessions. We actually have one tomorrow, every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you can bring your Swivl questions, anything from, how do I turn this robot on again? And am I supposed to have more than one marker? I'm not sure. Trust me, we've heard it all. So all you have to do is you can register for that at swivl.com/events. And now it's time for the social media chat. Please follow us on our YouTube page. That's going to be youtube.com/Swivl. Don't forget to like and subscribe those videos so you can get notified for any of our videos that we do post. Our next session will be next week, May 4th. Let's just take a quick time out real quick. Can you believe it's the end of April and next week is May? Like that's just like, wow. Okay. Just anyway, so May 4th for our next Swivl and Beyond session, where we are going to be talking about virtual instructional speed rounds. So that's one of our Swivl strategies. I think you're going to enjoy that one. You can also, again, watch our old videos on our YouTube channel. Please comment on those if you have any questions. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Greatly appreciate it. I hope you have a great rest of your hump day and week. And enjoy, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone.